a feast in times of pestilence, a ludicrous attempt to sink into reverie, to disguise from contemplation one's own insignificance. Wie immer sehr Pessi. Der Gute, reden wir mal hier mit Chevin. Wir können mal mit unserem Envoy reden. Today is a historic day for Rostov and maybe for all of Brevoy. Wer ist das? Joseph Stelemis? An older man with full sideburns looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well, now if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Gemadi. You pulled this all off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. Oh, but I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I'm Joseph Selemius, Lord Mayor of Rostov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your novel neighbor, I hope we can look forward to long and fruitful friendship. So you rule Rostov. And what about the Aldori? Ah, Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here, in this part of Rustland, the spirit of northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now, after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Aldori sword lords used to rule Rustland. They are still the largest landowners and main military force in the region. But it's not for nothing that Rostov is called a free city. We are proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but their own merits. What kind of events were you talking about? Mayor Selemius gives you a patronizing smile. Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air. But once that exact thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It is a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. How are things in Rostov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Rogarvia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. Wer war nochmal Haus Rogarvia? Okay. Okay. Ich habe gerade einen leichten Zuckerlow. Eine kleine Stärkung. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye. Please wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself. And from what I've been told, you're somewhat in the need of a financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction and spread of the cost on extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through rest of Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? Klar, wir lassen uns einfach mal auf alle möglichen Verträge ein. I would be happy to accept your offer. Then it's a deal. I'll get everything in order right away and schedule a delivery immediately. The feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon. Verträge sind immer gut. Für irgendwen. Ja.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Ich glaube, ich würde erstmal mich an sie halten. Mit unseren Verbündeten. Diese Tussi mit ihrer Chandra, die ist mir ziemlich egal. Dieser Lander, also der hat sicher noch eine ganz interessante Backstory, aber der ist mir zu fishy, als dass ich den einfach so ins Boot hole. Chandra über dich. Das war eine steile Vorlage. Das war eine steile Vorlage, Quaggy, ich geb's zu. Okay. Yes, that's my decision, yeah.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
Ja, eben. Ich bin eher gewillt, ihr zu trauen. Und wen auch immer sie mit mir mitschickt. Als jetzt irgendeinen dahergelaufenen Boob, der irgendwelche shady Sprüche von sich gibt. Und nicht mal richtig rausrückt damit, wer er überhaupt ist. I'm ready for the ceremony.
Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon. Captain Mager Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword. And finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Ja! Plötzlich Prinzessin. Baronin. Ich glaube, im Deutschen sagt man auch Baroness, ne? Man sagt nicht Baronin. Baroness.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Here we go! Greetings, Baroness. Welcome, Your Grace. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seems he'd rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I'm at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. World travels fast. And the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and to show you around the most important sites. Where are my companions? They are all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristian is with Jord, and you can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise and turmoil. Are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance Jord is right here. Erestial's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he is eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevoy is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also this curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit, a blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd. So I let him stay a while. It's up to you to decide what to do with him. That's about it, I guess. Kesten scratches his head. Wer ist jetzt Desna? Desna, also known as the Great Dreamer, Lady Luck and Mother Moon, goddess of dreams, luck, stars and travelers, is among the most ancient of deities. While her peers burdened themselves with the task of creating Golarion, she spent her time building the heavens. She knew that there would be plenty of time for her and her followers to explore the many wonders of the world later. She's changed little since those early days, and she and her followers delight in exploring the world. Oh, sounds nice. Elfen sind super Keeper. Yep, ich denke auch, Quali. What's the mood of the people here? I must admit, I've never seen anything like that my whole life. A city, a whole barony born right in front of our eyes. The people sense the moment, and today we are feeling proud. As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I'd normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing, but today is just one of those days. I'm ready to look around the city. Lead the way. Follow me, Your Grace. Oh, dann zeig mal her. Hallo. Greetings, Your Grace. We are, well, your new subjects. We are selecting a site to build our house. My new subjects. It's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads, though. Ouch. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Do you recognize this place, Your Grace? This is where the Staglord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh? Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Krieg ich von dem die Legendaries? Hm? Greetings, Your Grace. Ist ja noch ziemlich viel los. If you turn to the right from the square, you will end up straight in our tavern. Oh, die Taverne. Ist ja noch ziemlich viel los dafür, dass es schon dunkel ist. The tavern's ale is blessed by Kaiden Kalian himself, I swear, and the lady who owns it is a gem. I've heard our Baroness is tall as a troll, has hair of pure gold, and can breathe fire. Oh, that's all nonsense. Well, except for the part about breathing fire. All Barons can breathe fire, trust me. Actually, ich bin eine Feuerhexenmeisterin, von daher, ich kann durchaus Feuer verschießen. Welcome, Your Grace, glad to serve you. Die machen erstmal 5 Burpees dafür, dass sie hier rumgequatscht haben. Your Grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city. Or keep their mouths busy with... das kann ich jetzt nicht schnell nehmen. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough that we won't be able to see to its full extent from this perch. Ah. Ich hatte mich schon gefragt, was dieser Ausblick hier genau bezwecken soll, als ich hier vorbeigelaufen bin. Ob das so sein soll. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head to now. Tavernen, sauf! Saufen bis wir umfallen. Wir saufen bis wir umfallen. Quaggi kriegt eine warme Milch.
Adventures Camp.
Oder ein Kakao. Ein Kakao darfst du auch haben. Welcome to your barony. You are about to make the unyielding stolen lands a prosperous kingdom. There's a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, wealth for their treasury, and many other things. Good luck in your ruling, Baroness. So now we've reached the main chambers. This is the throne room, where you will hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map, depicting your barony and its surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your Grace's attention. Having finished his speech, Keston tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Da ist der Cassil.
Greetings, Your Grace.
Cassil, Lady Jamandi's ward, gives a polite bow.
It was a pleasure to meet you at Restov's reception. On behalf of your allies and benefactors, the Aldori Sword Lords, I'd like to offer you some advice.
Barony affects community, +6 loyalty, +6 military, +3 economy, +3 divine, +3 arcane, +3 stability, +3 new event, trade agreement with Sotova, hands of gold agreement und so weiter, bla bla bla, ist ja einiges. Continue. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set it to automatic. If set to automatic, you won't have to deal with most government decisions. They will be taken care of automatically, and your barony will never fail. However, this will also prevent you from unlocking any governance-related achievements. +3 Simulator, ja. Ich glaube, ich wage es einfach mal.
You can solve most of your barony's problems by granting appointments to the right people, responsible people. But certain state business will demand your personal attention, as will the visits of especially important guests. Reports of such outstanding events will be marked on your map. You can always check it while considering your plans. According to the ancient traditions of Brevoy and most of the river kingdoms, rulers address affairs of state and receive visitors at the beginning of the month. My advice to you is to maintain this tradition and regularly visit your capital when needed. The first thing you should do as a ruler is assign loyal people to all the important positions in your barony. Your clerics, Jord and Tristian, were the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further and leave you to consider. Once again, my congratulations. May your rule be long and prosperous.
Das ist eine Katze. Jord Kefkin. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baroness. I'm confident that you will be able to bring order to these troubled lands. Jord stumbled slightly. To be honest, that isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristian and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. Putrescence? Ugh, I'm disgusted with whoever could do this. Jord exhales loudly, catching his breath.
And now there's a new woe. Christian and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There's a place near the capital rumored by the locals to be cursed. Christian and I visited this dreadful place, and we felt the same putrescence at the Temple of the Elk.
What is this place? Where is it?
There's a bald hilltop not far from here, to the north of the capital.
Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there back in ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed. Bald Hilltop has been revealed. Bald. And this wound will undoubtedly open again. Christian and I felt something approaching, something ominous. The curse will soon return to plague us once more. I swear by Aristotle. I will go there as soon as I am able. I would be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect to see anything new there at present.
I agree with Christian. We have been to this hilltop. It's barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease.
Well, what do you suggest?
The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about a month. That's when we should visit the bald hilltop and resolve this issue.
For now, we can only wait and prepare.
We beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have even more pressing matters at hand right now.
Oh, ah. Barony stats. The barony has 10 basic stats, each is supervised by an advisor. They are as follows: population beim Regent, loyalty beim Counselor, military beim General, economy from Treasurer, divine from High Priest, relations Grand Diplomat, stability Warden, magic Magister, culture Curator, and espionage Minister. Stats increase if your governance is successful and decrease if your events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has certain milestones or ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. Rank 1 unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of that stat and upgrades to its ranks will be possible only if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Das klingt komplex. Governing your barony will require one advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions as well as some of the stolen land citizens into these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some of them will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them or rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology. They have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own, also keine bösen Leute. Open the advisor tab on the right side of the screen, click on an empty slot and select a character to appoint them as an advisor. Every barony stat gains a bonus from a specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of the bonus is indicated in the upper right corner of the advisor card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and sudden events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant! Choose a name for your barony. Maraland. Irgendwelche anderen Vorschläge? Diese Quaggi. Marrakesch. Ist bewilligt. Ich weiß gar nicht. Ich meine, unser Königreich kann ja einfach so heißen. Verzeihung, unsere Baronie. Wir sind ja kein König. Aber wir können ja nochmal nachgucken. Aber im Grunde... Okay, im Grunde mit zwei R, ja. Mhm. Close enough. SCA. Können wir auch machen. Können wir auch machen. Marrakesch. Accept. So. Settlement map. Click your capital icon to open the settlement map. Nee, das ist ein Village. Ach so, nee, das ist doch schon unser... Ja, das ist unser... Dings. Was ist das? Hands of Gold. Rumor has it that an unknown self-taught master crafting items of extraordinary beauty and rare quality has appeared in the region. Such people are rare. Something should be done to entice her to stay. The regent ensures subjects' complaints and concerns are heard by their ruler and serves as a link between the baroness and the people. Wenn ich jetzt jemanden auswähle, dann kann ich die doch bestimmt nicht mehr in meine Party packen, oder? Counselor? The counselor deals with troubles of the common folk and helps settle land disputes and agricultural matters. This advisor ensures citizens remain loyal to the throne. General. The general is the highest ranking officer in the army of the barony and is responsible for watching the borders and protecting the realm. The treasurer's duty is to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold spent is spent wisely. Dafür haben wir niemanden verfügbar. High priest, no matter what deity he serves, the high priest strives to satisfy the spiritual needs of all citizens in the barony. Ich meine, wir können Harem einsetzen, ja. Harem, Alter. Der wird alle Depri machen. Kann ich... ich gucke mir das gleich nochmal an.